This video is not intended for the viewers under the age of maturity, as it contains mature subject matter, including serious allegations and discussions of inappropriate behavior. The purpose of this video is educational and informative, not to harass, defame, or seek fame. All claims discussed are based on reported behavior and available information collected by me. Viewers are encouraged to form their own opinions. With that being said, welcome to a video I did not want to make.
I never wished to make this video, but this situation has gone so dire that I just have to step in and speak out to everyone about it. This video will be covering the pressing allegation against one of my former best friend, Priscean, also known as Purple Guy, Soup Boy, Purple Boy, and so on. I found the video fitting to be uploaded here because the whole thing started with the Chaotic Squad, and I intend to hopefully end it here. If you're feeling confused or unsure about what happened, don't worry, as this video will cover everything from the start and hopefully shed some light for you and give the full picture of what's really been going on.
So without any further ado, this is the Priscean drama.
To start off, let's go back to where I think his downfall began. His ban from the Chaotic Squad. It began with a little argument about Chris having disturbing background noises during VC, and he was asked to mute his mic each time, yet he didn't. It got very annoying to the point that XP made a vent about it and called him out after he already told them numerous times in their private DMs as shown in the picture before you.
Things only got worse as Priz doesn't handle the situation that well, as you can see.
And you can feel how unserious Chris is with his responses over something small as muting your mic. Okay, before we continue, I would like to explain a few things. Firstly, what XP was talking about is at VC, I don't know if it was the same day or not, Chris told Eli about a fake number from Poppy Playtime and forced him to enter it while the others told him not to. I wasn't there that day, so I'm only relying on what the others told me. Not only this act is reckless, but also really dangerous, especially when it's opposing a danger to someone else's life. Never enter a number you don't know. Things only got worse from this point on, even to the point that Ellie had to interfere. I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to read the whole thing.
And at that time, I wasn't checking the vent channel at all, so I wasn't aware of any of this.
Well, not immediately at least.
Also, apologies to my response the next day. I didn't bother to read everything and only went with what Chris said to me. So, yeah, I would like to take a moment to show you how unserious Chris is throughout this whole thing. While Ellie was questioning Eli's actions, you wanna know what Chris commented on that? Spoilers! Like, are we deadass? Are we deadass?
With this behavior and childish response from Press, it easily made Ellie and the others infuriated and left no choice but to ban him for good.
Ever since then, he wasn't the same. He was more depressed, more negative, and just demotivated to do anything at all. I tried to help him as much as I could, but it proven to be useless, and my efforts were in vain.
Just to be clear, Ellie wasn't wrong with what she did. She had every right to ban him for the troubles he has caused to her and everyone else. We all agreed on this. It was all his fault, and his fault only. This is all there is to this part of the drama.
And now we move on to a much more concerning matter.
The PEZ is what me, Eli, and Pris used to call ourselves. This group was made for the three of us best friends, but now it's nothing but history. A few weeks after the event of his band, things started to get really bad, with Pris losing the most active server he was in. He basically had nothing to do. Eli was busy hanging out with the Chaotic Squad, and I was busy studying on my most important school year. I know this sounds like me just ranting about his life, but trust me, this will be relative soon. He'd grown desperate to the point that it got straight up disturbing and even really creepy. Like, I'll be just logging on to send a picture to someone and I see him messaging me saying, "Hey Zach, what you doing?" Wink.
I would normally think nothing of this and assume that he was just bored or something, but with the context that we have, I think he's just so desperate for attention, and I really start to feel uncomfortable being greeted by these messages. One time while we were playing Forsaken, I was the killer and played as Cool Kid, which was Perez's main character he grinds on at that time. As a joke, because I suck with Cool Kid. I was lucky enough to kill him, and then he sent this. What the actual heck? I know sometimes the jokes can be a bit too far, but this is not a joke. He didn't even apologize when I pointed this out. Not to mention his unstable mental health while playing. Winning or losing, same depressed response from him. I took a short break from Roblox after that. When I came back and played a game, guess what? He was already there, waiting, and took multiple screenshots of me and sent them in our group chat. This has gone too far. Too far, I say. I've talked to people about this and they told me best to leave him and block him for good. I was considering but never actually did. Until one day, I saw something that pushed me over the edge. Okay, so I know I set a warning at the start, but what I'm about to show you right now is very disturbing and very disgusting. Be warned and caution while reviewing this. On June 16th, 2025, I was invited to a group that Pris made to which he has committed quote-unquote gender assault to an underage girl. No, this is not a joke. Here are some screenshots directly taken from the group. The victim in question shall remain anonymous, respecting privacy. Pris left the group after he was done. Then she invited me alongside others of my friends to expose us to this horrendous truth. I honestly still can't believe what I'm seeing. Before someone points this out, yes, I know all of her messages are edited. I will get to that later, but first I need to give some context. While me and Pris were investigating regarding the M's drama, aka Mochi, which I'm not gonna get into by the way, because I myself don't know much. So we met this girl, and I'm gonna call her Layla as a filler name I made up, and she started to hang out with us. Not long after, he started to date with her. And by the way, Pris already had a girlfriend. And this is her response, by the way. I'll get into that later, don't worry. And that was the day before the whole group exposed thing took place. I later found out that Layla wasn't actually a victim at all, but a decoy to lure Pris into a trap and expose him, because he was saying creepy stuff to her in DMs. You have no idea how I felt the moment I read those interactions. That pain is undescribable. I read those texts over and over, refusing to believe what I'm seeing. I've talked to him about these stuff before, and he promised. He promised that he will do better. He promised that he will change. And now, seeing this was a betrayal. And with that, I went to his DMs and said only two things. And I did not get any message from him ever since. Except for one thing. As an attempt of redemption, he exposed Layla for this act too. Even though we all know that this is just a decoy, this does not prove his innocence at all. He was still willingly engaging with it even though this act was explicit, and he knows that. Now I do believe that Layla isn't 100% innocent as well, but that doesn't matter to me. What does matter is my long trusted friend has betrayed me over some fleeting moment of pleasure. I told Eli about this and told him to unfriend him and never talk to him again, but I didn't because I wanted to see what he will do. But as expected, he blocked me and unfriended me on all platforms except for Roblox, because for some reason he decided not to until a few days later, marking the end of our friendship and the end of the PEZ. I know that this is the part most of y'all were waiting for, but first I'm gonna go what he was publicly accused of and then go on from there. Also, everything I said so far was completely privated and was not shared with the public until today. So Mr. Leo here claims that Pris has committed unspeakable things to minors and dated Ashley, to which she was used to be known as Emma back then. Pris does acknowledge him, but never bothered to make a response. So instead, I'll be the one debunking these allegations. Yes, he did in fact date Emma, and yes,
he did ship himself with her. But it wasn't drawn, luckily. It was made in Gacha Life. He made multiple of these actually. I couldn't find most of them sadly, but this one is one of the craziest ones out there. Although he wasn't talking with her inappropriately most of the time. Yet he did acknowledge the big age gap between them, but still committed anyway. And no, permission from a minor does not give him the right at all, because, well, they're minors and they don't know any better. Few weeks later, the both of them broke up. I don't know the exact details, but I think it started with this message. And then you can imagine what escalated from that. As for the doxing stuff, I think he was referring to the fake number I talked about earlier. Press did not have malicious intentions. He simply didn't know the dangers of that act. And now that this debt is dealt with, time to move on to something else. My claims against him. This right here is the whole reason why I'm making this video. I spent the last 3 months investigating him and collecting evidence. Old group chat, pictures, DMs. I managed to get 80% of the information I wanted. There was a group chat that had a lot of information in it, but it got mysteriously deleted. But no matter, what I have here is already enough. So, you might be thinking, what is this claim I have against him? Well, I think that Pris is up. Now, besides the whole Emma and Layla stuff, I found that they were not the only victims of his acts, and there are more who got affected by him, including Eli. Okay, well, not really. Hold on, let me explain. So back in the day, Eli was known as someone else, Ella, his imaginary sister in OC, and me and Press believed him to be actually a girl. That is until a few months later, after we added each other on Discord, he revealed to us that he's actually a boy. But in that duration, Press shipped himself with Ella, which is basically Eli. I asked him how he feel about this, and well, you can read the response by yourself. After that, he kinda just forgot about the ship and moved on to Emma. And another person who fell victim to him is someone named Snowy. This, however, was taking place after Val became his girlfriend and he started to like her. Now, fortunately, he didn't went too far with her for some reason, and I think it was because Snowy already had a boyfriend, so she was basically saved by him. Also, I would like to add a few words to explain why am I telling you this. I believe that Pris is a manipulator, and I'm gonna prove it. Though I don't know the exact details of how him and Emma broke up, but I do know this. Before that ever happened, and when he was just starting to get featured in Val's videos, he announced out of the blue that Eli and Emma are now a couple. All of us were confused, and this wasn't like the two of them had a choice anyway. He forced this upon them. Now, I'm not a professional or anything, but I think that this is straight up emotional manipulation to make her feel less bad about them breaking up, which I find really disgusting and really selfish. The fact that he does this for his own thrills just make me puke. Heck, even TC was a victim, which I found really random. I asked TC about this, and she said she was new to Discord at that time. I asked for more info, and she said she couldn't find his account, so we may never know why he didn't proceed with her. And now there's one more piece of evidence I want to share with you guys that will prove this allegation once and for all. A huge shout out to Lexi for reaching out to me and providing me her side of the story. So apparently, Pris liked Lexi and wanted them to be in a romantic relationship. Despite Lexi saying so many times that she's not comfortable with it, Pris kept pushing forward and forcing her to tell him personal stuff about her. Also, this has taken place when Emma was his girlfriend, so he was planning on portraying her for a very long time. Reading this makes me so disgusted and disappointed. Like, I can't believe I was friends with a person like him. I know at the start of this claim I said that he's a hunter, and I know what I'm saying. I have one last thing to show that will prove this claim. So out of nowhere, I receive a DM from Pris one day, and he tells me this. I'm not even gonna read what says in here. You just read it by yourself because it's just disgusting. It's disgusting and disturbing. I just don't want to read it out loud. I showed this to Ellie first because I genuinely did not know what to do.
This is something I never dealt with before.
Pause.
Hey, editor Zach here with something important to say. So it seems like a lot of people don't understand what this confession truly means, so I'm gonna break it down to you in a nutshell. Also, some minor evidence came out while in the middle of editing this video. It doesn't add much, but it makes Pris look more guilty.
So I'm gonna roll them on the screen while I'm explaining. So to put it simply, Pris watched a movie that he was not supposed to watch. He was like 11 years old, I think. And the movie wasn't scary or anything, it was just restricted, adults only, because it had a lot of intimidated moments in there. I think. I don't know, I didn't watch the movie and I'm not planning to. So the movie gave him an idea to try one of these intimidated moments and force his friend to do it as well with him. So basically that's how it all started. Firstly, why the hell would you ever want to watch a restricted movie? Secondly, this does not excuse him for what he did. His actions hurted others. Because of this, whatever this is, I don't even know what to call it. A lot of people got hurt because of him. And yes, this has indeed taken place IRL. This is why I was insisting on the name of the girl, because I wanted to make sure if it was actually IRL. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Apologies for the interruption. Now, back to the video.
And me and her came out to the conclusion that he is sadly walking down the path of a hunter, which I didn't believe at that time, but now, I think that might actually be true. So now that you know the truth behind this person and what actions he did, I'm going to firstly ask you not to harass him and everyone else included in this video. Harassing anyone here does not make you any better. And I already said at the start that this is an educational video. Instead, what you should do is share this to anyone who knows Pris and help this video to get as much views as possible. As the more views this video has, the better. I've told anyone I knew that had a connection to Pris, and they all left him, all except for one. Val, his current girlfriend. Now, I did explain and told her about the situation, and she didn't leave him for some reason. But I think she just didn't understand me that well. She does speak Russian more than English, so that is most likely the reason. If we don't count the 17 minutes proof of why Pris is a bad person and the fact that he almost replaced Val like he did with Emma, I'll say that she's being manipulated by him and he convinced her that he is the victim. Ever since they announced themselves as couples, I always felt that there is something wrong. Val looked like a girl that had a lot of mental issues. And the thing is, Pris did not care at all. I asked him directly one day and he said that she's a weirdo, that he doesn't care. He also forces her against her will to play games she doesn't want to. Now, I would have shown you evidence, but the thing is, I legitimately can't find this anywhere. I know it's on our private DMs, but for some reason I can't find them at all, so you have to take my word on this one. Also, he does a lot of things to her that she's uncomfortable with, and yet he doesn't care at all. This relationship is clearly unhealthy for her, and I felt that ever since the start, and now I know why. It's because he doesn't care about her. He only cares about what he can get and take. She is but a means to an end to him and nothing more. So Val, when you see this video, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, and I hope you take this decision. I know you're loyal, I know this is hard for you, but it must be done. This person will only drag you down, and you have to let go of him. Because you deserve someone who actually likes you and loves you for who you are, not what you can give. I want to dedicate these last few minutes to send a message to Priscean directly. I know you'll be watching this, Pris. Of course, how can you not watch a 20-minute long video about yourself, especially when I'm the one who's making it? This is what I meant when I said that your actions are coming back to bite you one day. Your carelessness and selfishness has led us to this moment right here. You've made me spend the last 4 months making a video about you. You think I want this? I never did. It's because of you I'm doing this. Because if I don't step up, you'll just keep going with your mistakes and hurt more people. I am doing this because I have to, not because I want to or hate you. And that's what is currently happening right now. you've never learnt your lesson, you've never changed, and kept doing whatever that pleases you, not caring even for a second about what could this do to others.
So, Priscean, this video serves as a big reminder and a wake-up call, and also a warning to you to change your ways for the better.
We're not asking you to harm yourself. We're not asking you to delete your accounts. We're not asking you to KYS.
All we've ever wanted was for you to seek help, to look into a therapy, or just at least tell your parents about this.
Because if you don't, action will be taken.
And it's not just going to be a video.
Oh, I can do a lot more with what I have here,
which I can assure you,
it will ruin you and leave you permanently damaged.
But I don't want to do this, okay? I don't want to do this. So please heed our warning, or else. Also, happy freaking birthday. Here's my gift for you, like I promised last year. I know this seems weird, but I keep my promises, even to him. So with that, I conclude this video. Once again, do not harass anyone in this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below what you think of this matter. I will definitely be reading them. Also share this with anyone who knows Pris. And I hope I see you guys in a much happier video. Zach G out.